The study of our materia medica, page number 429.
The artist studies his model until he feels the lines and shadows, and in his mind sees the image on canvas or carved in stone. He builds a model and carves in granite the similar. The student of our materia medica must study a proving until he finds the image of the totality of sick feelings of all the provers, as if he had proved this remedy and felt all the morbid feelings of the prover. అంతేగా మరి ఇప్పుడు ఒక ఇల్లు కట్టడానికి ప్లాన్ ఇస్తున్నాడంటే మైండ్లో వాడికి ఆ ప్లాన్ అంతా ఉండి దాన్ని డ్రా చేసి పేపర్ మీద దాన్ని అంతా ఇది చేసి ఎలా ఇస్తున్నాడు, అలాగే వీడు ఆ మొత్తం ప్రూవింగ్స్ అంతా కూడా చదివేసి హీ షుడ్ బి కంప్లీట్లీ థరో విత్ ది ప్రూవింగ్స్ ఆఫ్ ది రెమెడీస్ అండ్ ఆల్సో హీ షుడ్ ఫీల్ యాజ్ ది ప్రూవర్స్ who experienced the proving. He should be so much thorough with the proving. The doctor that prescribes for symptoms as they look on the paper fails to feel the weight of responsibility of the true healer. Only by seeing the symptoms upon the paper which he has written, if he prescribes for this only, he will not be a true healer. He fails. The physician that first places all the morbid feelings of his patient on paper and then ponders over that complexity of symptoms until he feels and sees what that patient suffers, and next searches the materia medica till he finds the same image, will be able to cure the sick as Hahnemann did. As Hahnemann did. That is the only method. This gives him the sphere of sicknesses either produced by disease or by drugs. This sphere is an important feature of the study of cure and sick-making causes. Through this study, we discover the sphere of action of aconite as it differs from sulfur, of belladonna as it differs from calcarea, of the natural successors, complements and inimitants. We may study pathology until the dawn of the 20th century. We may study pathology until the dawn of the 20th century, and it may not reveal what we need in the art of healing the sick. But the careful study of each picture of sensations may reveal to the student and artist the sphere of medicinal powers and curative possibilities. So the pathology that will not indicate the curative power, but the real things which will indicate the curative powers in the medicines and the patient, that we should find out. Some may study much longer than others to reach this mastery of a drug image, but study will bring out the picture in time. There are drugs that are largely proved, yet so badly proved that the true image has never been brought out. So in remedies case, they have very good provings, very large provings, many pages are there. But actually, the true proving was not achieved. The correct picture was not achieved. This is generally the case when man has meddled with the statements of the simple-minded lay prover. So they will, the lay provers, they will be reporting the symptoms in their language. So instead of putting that in their language itself, till he understands what is the sensation, what is the real symptom, he should write down in their language only. He should not convert their language into his own language. Then the proving will be confused. For that sake only, in case taking also, he advises whatever the patient says, that you first note down. What is the language of the patient? If you are unable to understand, first of all you write the same thing which the patient reports. Then you ponder over this, what is the expression of the patient. If it is needed once or twice, you ask the patient, what is your expression, what is your meaning about this. Then you can understand the meaning, in which meaning the patient has referred to this word. Then only you can come to a conclusion. For example, one patient used to come to me. Every time he used to say, I am getting chest pain. Much pain in my chest, he used to say. Every time I used to ask where, in which is the location. He used to show his abdomen and say, he was saying, I am getting chest pain here. So you can directly write that he is getting pain in the abdomen, not chest. But you should not criticize the patient and you should not blame. You are telling wrong, it is not chest, it is abdomen. Slowly you can explain, you can educate him. But in the first instance or second instance, you should not say. If you say like that, he will stop explaining the remaining symptoms to you. So, if necessary, what is the language of the patient? If you are unable to understand in a clear way in case taking, you directly write down. Then you can filter. Then you can understand. Then you can make it an exact picture. The language of nature cannot be interfered with if the proving is expected to be a guide to the cure of our fellow men. Modern provings are commonly a farce and will not lead to the elevation that Hahnemann's remedies sustain. So modern provings after Hahnemann, the original prover, Hahnemann's followers and Hahnemann's proving, whatever they have explained, what they have elevated in the modern provings, that might be lost. The old masters knew how to do it. They were governed by the principles of the master. They were governed by the philosophy, and their provings will stand and forever be safe guides to the cure of all animals and man. Why? Because they honor the original principles of the master. They will work according to the principles of the master. They will not deviate from the principles of the master. Because of those things only, they are successful in their profession. The wrangle between the material and immaterial philosophers may end in some good. Both sides have truth, but to some extent perverted. Both sides evade the facts that oppose their own methods of reasoning and their own conclusions. Some will not accept a cure as a fact because it was made with an infinitesimal medicine. Some will not accept a proving because it has been made with infinitesimal doses. The actions of such men do not change the facts that exist, but they do retard the study of our materia medica. So according to their opinion, the exact picture which is there in the nature, it will not change. Because of their opinions, they cannot change the original thing. Either they can stop, or again they have to follow the same thing. A proving that was made under my eye, under the proper rules for proving, demonstrated more carefully that real symptoms were produced by the 10 millionth potency of leukocytes. I had heretofore not believed it possible to procure some symptoms from this potency. The prover did not know that the dose was that she took. What the dose was that she took. She brought out one symptom as perfectly new, and it might be doubted as a genuine leukocyte symptom, but the fact that I had discovered the symptom several years before clinically and confirmed it and verified it. Such a symptom the prover did bring out, and such a symptom known to belong to the drug, and that in a very high numbers, removed all doubt in my mind of the possibility of procuring symptoms in such high numbers. So when there is one symptom produced by the remedy, by taking the remedy, when the same symptom is being produced in many provers, and when it is confirmed clinically, then we should understand that the symptom is definitely produced because of the medicine given. This prover was not in perfect health, I am willing to say in answer to the proper question. She was a very nervous person, extremely sensitive, and a subject of many nervous symptoms. This must, of course, greatly impair the value of the proving in the eyes of many. A singular fact that I want fully stated here is the symptoms of the prover were entirely new and ran their course as an acute miasm should have done, completely subduing all the symptoms peculiar to the prover, with exceptions mentioned. And when the proving of drug symptoms departed, all her old symptoms came back. So, in one prover, all her original symptoms, they have subsided and suspended as long as the proving was conducted. After completing the proving, again the original symptoms came back. This shows that she was not proving a similar, that it was not a homeopathic aggravation, but that it was a genuine proving. The proving of lachesis was so clear that Dr. B. Finke and Dr. P. P. Wells have made remarks on it to the effect that there can be no doubt about the genuineness of the proving, that the proving suspended the old symptoms of the prover is the proper thing, and what is constantly observed when scarlet fever or measles or smallpox run their course, and as all know, the symptoms come back after the acute disease has run its course, as the same thing which was explained in the similar diseases in organon. It may be gleaned that a proving may suppress a given sickness. That is just what happened in this most wonderful proving, and is just what happens in some of our best provings. If this be true, it must refute the idea that no value can attach to provings on persons not perfectly healthy. No one denies that healthy men and women are the proper provers. Neither it is true that provings on sick persons may not have a high value. Another grand lesson is found in the proving, viz., that highly dynamized medicines are capable of suppressing the symptoms of natural diseases and implanting themselves instead. Another warning to the beginner that he may not be too hasty in giving medicine to sensitive nervous patients. You should not give directly a deep remedy in very higher potency. You should be very careful. In presenting this proving as it comes from the pen of the prover, it is my purpose only to say for it, it must stand or fall on its own worth as a proving made to throw light on the great pathogenesis of lachesis. Now he is discussing about the proving of lachesis from the prover. Lachesis. Mrs. H.W.A. Proving of lachesis 10M, beginning February 14th, 1887. A very nervous little woman who has never been very sick, but always very sensitive to the surrounding atmosphere, so that she proves everything that she breathes. February 14th. February 14th. Took a few pellets dry on tongue, 1:30 p.m. Had felt better in a little while. Soon felt a severe heavy ache in both thighs, as though they would come off or break. Slight amelioration by morning. Felt warm blood circulating in legs and feet. From knees down are usually cold. Felt happy and jolly in spite of severe aching. Could not stand as usual during shopping. Upper arms began to ache 3 p.m. Left worst. Pain in the legs diminished as pain in the arms increased. Could not carry a small parcel. Left arm aggravated by hanging. Left arm ameliorated by resting in court. కోట్ జేబులో చేయబెట్టుకుని తిరుగుతూ ఉంటే కొంచెం బాగుంది. అలా పెట్టుకోకుండా హ్యాంగ్ చేస్తుంటే ఎక్కువైపోతుంది పెయిన్. Aching moved upward to the shoulder as though arm would drop out. Aching extending under scapula. Subsided into an uneasy ache after 5 p.m. Weight diminished. Was told I look pale. During evening had to rest the left leg on chair and take off the shoe. Elevation relieved the leg, but left arm began to ache. Aching pain again went under scapula and posterior left lung. Could not lie on right side because of drying sensation around the heart. Lying on left side aggravates pain in arm, shoulder, lung and heart. Wondered if I would have heart disease, as my mother died of atrophy of the heart. Restless and suffocated all night. February 16th. Could not study or give due attention. Heart ached and would stop breath as though it would palpitate, but it did not. Went to sleep that night listening to the beating in the head and ears synchronous with the heartbeat. February 17th. Aching of entire left side from crest of ilium to first rib. Aching under both scapulae left the worst. Upper arm so heavy, could hardly raise it. Sensation in arm as if it were pulled. Intense aching between heart and scapulae, and was afraid to stir or breathe, and would rise and lower the shoulder to get relief. Slight palpitation and pain in apex. February 18th. Pain in apex followed by palpitation. Afraid someone would see and speak of the anxiety. Could hardly hold anything, would slip out of my hands. Feared the increasing palpitation which aroused me frequently in the night. Dreamed of riding in a strong wind which took my breath. Dreamed of riding on horseback. Going swiftly through the air gave me a sinking feeling in the stomach and left thorax. Waked, holding my breath. Desire to unfasten dress from sternum to waistline. Could not study in evening. Hated everything, books, paper, pencil, lectures and medicine. Felt like squirming. Has often come on since I began taking the drug. Afraid to go to sleep after retiring. Put hand on heart to watch its beating. Could rest comfortably upon left side with hand upon heart, so slept. February 19th. During shopping at noon, felt weak and sinking from heart to stomach. Palpitation during lecture 2 p.m. Kept moving about in chair. Sore under left scapula. Pressure of chair back caused palpitation followed by cough. Could breathe better in open air, so took a long walk. Heart seemed to stop beating, then made extra exertion. Attacks of palpitation until 11 p.m., causing a hacking cough each time. February 20th. Slept well at night. Dreams. Toward morning dreamed I was almost dead with heart disease. Lexus lo chevutadu kada. He gets the dream as if he is dead and preparations are being made by the relatives. Avani kanipistadi. But did not wish my friends to know of it. Was in a crowd. Was suffocated and feet so cold, like walking on ice. Wished to get in the air, but trying to get through the crowd caused palpitation. Thought my body had become mottled like a snake skin. Thought it would be soon on my face, so that I could not go in company anymore. Did not know why this was, but it was a punishment which I would understand in another world. Desired the time to die to come quickly, for my heart ached so that I could not be happy, neither make my friends happy. Slight palpitation on rising, increased so that I could not walk after 11 a.m. Tried heating heating by grate, no relief. Palpitation every few minutes as that I coughed, could not talk or laugh, must have dress unbuttoned. Aching all through left thorax, a dragging sensation. Frequent pain in the second intercostal seemed to pull inwards and down. A creamy leucorrhea on rising in morning after sitting. Pain boring inwards in right occiput. Old symptoms. Leucorrhea light green. Red sand in urine. Adheres to sides of vessel. Menses closed with pus-like discharge. February 20th, 6th day. Burning in right ear and last upper molar. Tooth sore. Felt as though it set in an ulcer. Must dry and warm the feet every hour or so. Palpitation in stomach after eating. February 21st, 7th day. Violent palpitation while dressing. Voice trembled, so I could not talk. Great weakness of lower extremities, then of upper arms. Was asked if I had mental anxiety because the face showed so much anguish. Was unusually happy unless talking, which caused palpitation. 10 a.m. Violent throbbing of arteries supplying abdominal viscera, left side extending into the rectum. Quick rapid beating causing a change of position. Nerve of the left leg seems to be twitching, throbbing. Wake with coldness, which causes me to crawl down in bed to warm and sleep. 5 a.m. Sleep. Dreams of pure white calf and cow. Waked in slight perspiration. Coldness continues until 11 a.m. and the cough comes on. An old symptom now worse. Must warm the feet. Stool irregular for a week. Requires great effort, though small. Anus protrudes like a cushion before pieces are passed. Try several times to appease the unfinished sensation. Must push tissues back, smarting long time after stool. Cough, pains in the left side abdomen and from perineum upwards. Copious leucorrhea at stool or during any exertion. Backache relieved by passing a hot, creamy, slightly stringy discharge. Faint acrid odor. This flow often relieves knot-like feeling of left ovary, old symptoms. No appetite for breakfast or lunch because of throbbing in heart and left side. Eat well up to at 6 p.m. Burning in stomach. Cold water nauseates. Can feel cold water all through the abdomen. Hands burn. Veins in hands so distended, must hold them up to get relief. Cold in morning. First day that have felt like study in winter. This dose did not produce left-sided sore throat. Ulcerated odor from stomach. 4:30 a.m. For a week have awakened cold and sensation of squirming. Coldness over heart, stomach, back. Flesh is cold. Ameliorated by moving about. Awake at 6 a.m. in slight perspiration. Sweat again. PM Sweat again PM. Order slightly of garlic. Frequently must arise at 5 a.m. to relieve backache by urinating. Old symptoms are more prominent since taking the dose, scarcely noticed before. Kent. February 28th, 14th day. Frequent quivering, aching, extensor proprius pollicis lame, nearly let me fall when standing on tiptoe, aching in hypogastrium and inguinal region, pain in uterus going upward while leaning forward, burning in different spots of the body, can spell correctly but not from letters rapidly mixed words. Feel quite happy. Smell of turpentine caused distress in lumbar region extending downward and forward into ovarian and hypogastric region, like dysmenorrhea. March 3rd, 20th day. Slept better, waked unrefreshed, dreamed of birds and animals, dreamed I was dying of dropsy from kidney disease, that water was collecting about the heart, headache, pain in the back of head, golden flashes above the eyes on closing them, discouraged, that those despised who knew me best and had lost confidence in me, felt that none understood my motive, which is good, have lost the power to exert any influence. I am so tired and I fall in all undertakings. The physical and spiritual will not harmonize. Longing to break the tie that binds the spiritual to the physical. The influence of evil is uppermost. Morbid tendency to decide that wrong is right. Realize this only after it is committed, then feel crushed. Cannot rise above it. When alone, the mortification of such mistakes nearly drives me wild. Cry for help and receive mockery. Lost all consolation so long derived from the unnumbered words of my mother. These griefs aggravate by mental efforts to rise above them, causing me to despise myself. Remorse, followed by tears. No strength of will to do desperate deeds. In moments of self-forgetfulness, duties are performed with surprising ease and success. Self-consciousness that cannot be overcome. Grief at committing actions which at the time seem proper, but afterward seem improper. Grief crowds all else out of mind. March 4th, 21st day. Chilly AM and PM. Went to bed to get warm. Hot spot on vertex and over eyes. Cannot think. Forehead too tight. Head from vertex. Heat from vertex into throat and back of neck. March 5th. Awoke 2 AM. Troubled dream. Crowding thoughts. Tried to study but old impressions crowded the subject out. After lengthened effort broke into tears and dropped asleep. Awoke at 4 AM, cold, aching back, relieved by micturition. Slept, waked later, tired and discouraged. Distress in lower abdomen from running to take a streetcar at 10 AM. Nearly fainted over the simple operation of reducing a hernia, reducible. First time in 4 years. Slept PM. Waking, arms felt like limbs of trees. Numb. Stomach over which arms are closed, greatly distressed. Distress going downward to the uterus. Arms folded across stomach causes distress. Taste of blood. Because of bloody mucus from posterior nerves. Offensive perspiration. Several nights when going to sleep have felt the bed was floating as it seemed in childhood. March 21st. Deep yellow mucus stool sinking into the bottom of vessel. Watery with floating white particles upon the top like rice. 3 p.m. Great bearing down in the rectum as though it would protrude. Stool at 8 p.m. So hungry and thirsty
ate a soft part of raw oysters, which seemed to satisfy. Relief from the throbbing of heart, which was endured for a week. March 22nd, slept well, dreams natural, dreamed that on preparing for lectures, could not hurry. There was such a soreness and gone feeling in the stomach. Back of head ached, no motion of bowels, first evacuation of urine, thick, deep orange color, unsatisfied feeling, causing burning and smarting of parts. Cold from knees down, ankle aches, but little of the burning and smarting sensations scalded of mouth and stomach present yesterday, A.M. Bloody mucus from left lung, weak in attempting to walk. Yesterday, while standing for the first time at the foot of bed, felt very tall and bed looked small. Felt 3 feet taller than usual. Toast, raw oysters and cambric tea seemed to suit. Crave sour things, which for two years have aggravated my bowels, so also salt. Blisters in mouth, on lips, under nose disappearing. As eager as a thirsty child for a glass of water. Small molded stool covered with mucus. Feel better. March 26th. Mournful, dreamy state of mind, as though something very sad were transpiring. Took Lexus 9 am. Cold, sweaty feet. When not near a great AM, walked a long distance in PM, 4 PM. Pain in or over right kidney caused by desire to urinate, followed by distressing sickened feeling in stomach. Pain went from stomach to left heel, then up to the leg, ending in dull ache. Numbness in great and second toes, left as though something pressed from the end. Same symptom occurs in bed. Wake in night with urgent desire to urinate, pain in right kidney. Feet warm and feel swollen. Inclination to sweat after returning to the bed, especially when surfaces come in contact. Tossing until daybreak, then slept. Most comfortable lying upon the stomach. Tired when called to get up. Fall asleep on the pillow. But if walked, will slip the head off and roll on the stomach. Burning sensation from vertex to last dorsal vertebrae. Perspiration just before sleep. Turn on back to make it warm. Perspiration musty and old. And as at this time of June, as at one time during the ague, when I would wake in night with profuse sweat, making me sick at stomach. March 30th. Left toes numb. While packing, cramping in hypogastrium. Occasional pains from left of cervical vertebrae to right, to left elbow. Heat in forehead. Eyes sensitive to heat. Left heel feels as though ice were pressing upon it. Uneasiness and fullness in kidneys before urinating. Urine profuse and colorless. Bowels feel insecure as from impending diarrhea. Weight in rectum from long standing. Frequent pains in back opposite lower end of sternum. Itching over whole body after sitting a long time. An eruption size of a small pea, sometimes festered, always sore and itching. Feel as if I could break constriction in the forehead. could reason clearer and think more deeply. April 6th. Itching in roof of mouth and base of tongue. Must rub it. At times burning and pricking on the edge of the tongue. Example, tongue aggravated by smell of tobacco or turpentine. Organ feeling in stomach ameliorated by eating. Organ stomach sensation in stomach ameliorated by eating. Okay, అంతే కడుపు ఖాళీ అయితే తింటే బాగుండదు. ఎందుకు రాశారంటే అది కామన్గా అందరికీ ఉంటుంది కదా. తింటే ఎవరికైనా కడుపు ఖాళీ అయితే తింటే బాగుంటుందా? మరి సింటమ్గా ఎందుకు రాశాడంటే ఆలోచించు. తెలియదని ఇలా ఊపడం కాదు. ఎందుకు రాశాడంటే కారణం ఉండాలి కదా. ఆయన ఏమన్నాడు, ఇక్కడ ఆకలేసి ఎలా ఉందని అనలే, మామూలుగా ఆర్గాన్ సెన్సేషన్. వాడు తిన తర్వాత రావచ్చు, వాడికి కలిసి ఉంటాము. ఎందుకంటే ఎందుకు రాశాడని కూడా ఒకసారి ఆలోచిస్తూ ఉండాలి కదా మైండ్. అవునటా కదంటే కోపడతామంటారు. స్లో యూరినేషన్ ఎస్పెషల్లీ ఆఫ్టర్ వెయిటింగ్. Sweat middle of night or after first sleep. Throat feels full. Mouth feels sore. Aggravation of the burning in the mouth and stomach by salt. Dyspnea aggravated by slightest exertion. Constriction of the throat as if something tight were about it. Coughing at night caused by itching in left side of throat extending to ear. Ameliorated by warmth of hand. Hands puffy and often very warm. Sweat followed by chill caused by dampness of clothes. Then heat, then sleep. Fourth toe joint sore upon underside. Move to first toe and thought it would be a bunion. Enti bunion anta corn. ఆనికాయ చూడు. మామూలుగా బనియన్ అంటే మూవ్ టు ఫస్ట్ టో అండ్ థాట్ ఇట్ వుడ్ బి ఏ బనియన్. మామూలుగా బనియన్ అంటే ఏంటి ఏంటి బనియన్ అంటే అసలు మామూలుగా బనియన్ ట్రీ అంటే ఏంటి? ఏంటి బనియన్ ట్రీ తెలుసు. బనియన్ ట్రీ అంటే ఏం చెట్టు? ఆయన చెప్తారు. ఆయనకే వాటిని ఆయనగా చెప్పాల్సిన బుద్ధి జ్ఞానోదయం ఇచ్చిన బోధి వృక్షం కాదు. మర్రి చెట్టును బనియన్ ట్రీ అంటారు. అండ్ కరెక్టేనా? ఏమో మీరు కన్ఫర్మ్ చేయాలని వాటినే వారు కదా. మీరు కాదు అంటే కాదు. అది ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళు బాటనీ మీరు అక్కడే కాబట్టి అంటే అసలు బనియన్స్ అంటే హార్డ్ స్వెల్లింగ్స్, వాటిని బనియన్ అంటారు. ఈ కారన్స్ టెండెన్సీ అనే వాటిని కూడా బనియన్స్ అని అంటారు. హార్డ్గా ఉంటాయి, హార్డ్ స్వెల్లింగ్స్ వేళ్ళ కింద, టోస్ కింద, అండర్ ఫీట్ అవన్నీ వస్తుంటాయి. సో స్లీపీ అట్ 8 PM అండ్ ఒబ్లైజ్డ్ టు రిటైర్. అదే ఆ బిగ్ టో జాయింట్ దగ్గర వచ్చేటువంటి పెయిన్ఫుల్ స్వెల్లింగ్, హార్డ్ పెయిన్ఫుల్ స్వెల్లింగ్ అది చెప్పండి. థ్రెడ్తో లేటరల్ సైడ్కి డీవియేషన్. సో స్లీపీ అట్ 8 PM అండ్ ఒబ్లైజ్డ్ టు రిటైర్. 8 అయింది ఇప్పుడు. ఏమన్నాడు ఇప్పుడు జరిగింది ఏంటి? సో స్లీపీ అంటే నేను అలాగే ఉన్నాను అనమాట. అందుకే సో స్లీపీ అట్ 8 PM అండ్ ఒబ్లైజ్డ్ టు రిటైర్ అన్నాడు. Right foot and leg feels large, warm and heavy. Left foot and leg feels small, numb and cold. quivering in both ears when lying down at night, at times relieved by change of position, aching back of the ears, aching a little above the apex of heart, soreness about the edges of mammary gland before menstruation, old symptom, throbbing in left side, slight pain in left ovarian region, sometimes both sides and then in hypogastrium. During the past 2 weeks, swelling, induration and smarting of the ducts of sublingual glands relieved. Feeling of prolapsed rectum only relieved by lying on the stomach. Top of head sore and hot. Throat burns and feels raw. Lungs dry and tight. No expectoration of long coughing. After long coughing. Burning, smarting with itching. April 7th. Constriction. Feces hard. Bleeding from rectum. Feels like cut after stool. Bearing down in rectum. Long time after evacuation. Grey spots drop in front of left eye while reading. Caused blur and nervousness. Aggravated by looking to the left. Ameliorated by continuing to read. Mouth sore, herpes, lower lip right side. April 8th. Numbness extending from lumbar region to lower extremities after long walk. Menses PM. Bloating in epigastrium. Sensation of an opening in abdomen from umbilicus down, that is upon either side of the bladder. Bladder distended cold before menses. Also aching in left arm, thoracic and abdominal cavities. Crawling sensation for several nights in anus after retiring. Severe aching in left leg first 4 hours of ketamine. April 9th. Waked from sleep, sound sleep, by severe colic followed by loose stool. Dark, almost green. During stool, cold and prostrated. Ameliorated by stool. Week before menses. Had gushing, hot milky white leukorrhea. At cessation of menses, continuous itching above the coccyx. Worse at night. Has been customary for several months, old symptom. April 10th. Twitching in the first finger left, extending through tendons to wrist. Back of neck so weak that must have a high back chair. Catarrh in head better. 2 attacks of coughing, 4 p.m. Repeated second day. Cannot cough deep enough. Smarting and itching either side to trachea into ears. Cannot recall unfamiliar easy subjects. So sleepy by 7 p.m. am obliged to retire but am wakeful for some time after lying down. Before and during menses, sweat at least exertion. From thighs upward, warm, sweaty and suffocating. From above the knees downward, cold necessitates a warm iron. Cramping in left great toe before the menses. Worse in bed at night. Worse in turning from back to right side. Crawling sensation under the seat of cold sore. In various places when tired. Same sensation would appear as a spot before eyes during the blind headaches of my childhood, 16 to 20 years. April 12th. The extreme pleasure causes trembling and twitching for hours, more than would severe fright or sudden surprise. That and mental exertion caused wakefulness until midnight. Waked very early. Annoyed by a sudden loss of subject of sentence. In attempts to speak. Effort to hold an idea until it can be expressed. The expression or the real effort drives subject matter quit out of mind. Aching in occiput, extending to cervical vertebrae. Same pain extending down the arm when walking or upon receiving a jar. April 18th. Constant desire to lie down. can think better. An hour's study and strength gives way. Pain in occiput, neck and eye feels cold. Eyes feel cold. Head hot. Ameliorated by warming feet. Ameliorated by lying down finally. Ameliorated by open air. Such an anxious feeling to be strong and think quickly. Became quickly exhausted. Long for physical strength. Sleep until 4:30 a.m. Awake, refreshed. But work of the day before engrosses me to that extent that when I rise, am already tired. Desire to lie down again after breakfast. Tired feeling from forehead downward and backward through cervical region. Many times obliged to give up writing and throw myself on the bed. So this is the proving of lachesis.